DERMATILLOMANIA, skin picking. TRICHOTILLOMANIA, hair plucking. Both I have done since I was a kid. I have excessively picked and pulled and chewed the skin around my fingers to the point where it's scarred. I went to the doctors for many years, showing them my hands and saying, what is this? And they just tried to tell me it was eczema. So if you want the autistic take, I'm autistic. If you want my autistic take on why you pick your skin and pluck your hair, then listen up. Yes, it is to do with control. It's to do with you feeling anxious or nervous. We also know that we can pick our skin just when we are thinking. I will often chew and rub and scratch and do just that and get lost in the stim, in the stimulation, in the sensory seek. And like most stims, we don't even notice it's a stim. I stim like this. I stim like this. I stim like this. I stim by staring at things, trickling. But as autistic people, we've not been permitted to flap, to shake, to rock, to run up and down, to express bodily movement in this way. When you say to us, no, don't flap, no, don't rock, don't chew your pen, we find acceptable stims and we stim in plain sight. I think it's terrible that this, tearing chunks of skin, is acceptable, but this is classified as strange, abnormal, or distracting. Tending to my sensory profile, that means if I'm doing this, chew. I'm looking for a tactile stim. So this is a tactile stim and it gives me that tactile feedback. If that doesn't satisfy you, try putting glue on your hand, allowing it to dry, and then picking off the glue bit by bit as if it were skin. That way you're not hurting your skin. Some people like to pop the plastic bubble wrap, squishies in general. Some people may want to finger paint and try and displace the tactile feedback there. Putty, kinetic sand, and where you slice through it. So when I'm plucking at my leg hair, I've started to sensory seek, and it's about getting these sensory items, but where are they to hand? So we're not ever stopping our sensory seeking, but we are finding sensory seekings where we're not having to do it to ourselves, because now we have options. Because now we're saying, hey, it's okay to stim, but how do we do it? Because we've not had that before. This is mine now, you won't see me without these. I've needed these since I was a little girl. So thank you so much, Arc Therapeutic. If they're asking you to realise why you're biting, really think. Often I found that when I'm trying to think of an answer or a solution and I get frustrated I can't find it, instead of thinking of a subjective problem, I look for a physical one to correct. And with the skin and with the little dots and spots, there are many little things that I can correct. And in the process of me doing it, it's like the dots appear correct and all the thought comes back. Trichotillomania and DERMATILLOMANIA have recently been recognised as standalone neurological behavioural conditions. There are so many grounding reasons that autistic people stim and neurodivergent people stim. But if their neurodivergency is not recognised, if they're not recognised as you're stimming because you're OCD, you're stimming because you're anxious, you're stimming because you're autistic and your sensory profile and the way that you cognate relies on stimming as a regulation. If you don't go further than the behaviour, if we continue to medicalise autistic and neurodivergent behaviour in this way, we will continue to self-blame and we will continue to ignore the root, the why. Why are we doing this? They're now saying that this is a neurodivergency in its own right, when actually it's a behaviour that belongs to many neurodivergent people. People have been celebrating this, going, yes, finally, my needs are getting recognised. You're having a slice of your needs being recognised, because if you're plucking at your skin and your hair, I'm telling you now, you will have other behaviours which are indicative of anxiety or indicative that you have a sensory profile in flux. Look at me, I'm not stimming, I'm not doing what I need to do, which is this, okay? I need to do this. when I'm talking at this rate. But I do this, I suppress it. We are constantly squeezing and shutting ourselves down, and dermatillomania and trichotillomania is a symptom of that. So why are we diagnosing the symptoms and not recognising the neurology behind it? I think it's shocking that the research that was published around these conditions mentioned not once the autistic community, and considering it is my community that are tearing off their skin in chunks and ripping out their hair in handfuls, it is the neurodivergent community engaging in those regulation behaviours to cope. It's an absolute travesty. And to offer us medication and behavioural therapy and blame us for our compulsion. I'm all about filling your sensory profile and meeting your sensory quota, and I can only do it from an autistic perspective. But yeah, it's about Trich and Derm. I'm sorry it's not more helpful than that, but just don't blame yourself, okay? If you found that useful, please sponsor us at Patreon or make a donation at GoFundMe. I found that quite difficult because I'm very passionate about it. I've been pulling my skin and pulling up my hair since I was 8 years old, so I just feel lost some days. Completely lost. I have no idea that this is even helping. I promise you I'll be more cheery in the next one.